All right, today we're looking at when solving systems by graphing doesn't always work. So if I were to graph these two lines, okay, we know that they're not parallel. So they are going to intersect somewhere, but on my given graph, they don't appear to cross. So how are we going to find where they cross at? So where is the solution for these 2 points? So we need another method. And one of those methods is solving by substitution. And it's a lot like how it sounds. We're substituting in something. So this works really well as long as one of our equations is solved for either x or y. If neither is, then we can solve for either x or y. And we'll talk about that later on. So again, this works best as if we're already solved for x or y. If not, we can talk about, we have a third method to use. All right, so once we've got solved for x or y, we plug in and solve for the remaining variable. Now, since we're looking for a solution, once we solve that first one, we have to plug back in to our original equations to get the other variable. And as always, our answer is going to be written as an ordered pair or a point. All right, so looking here, we're going to solve this by substitution. So I've got y equals 4x minus 1 and y equals 2x minus 5. Well, both are solved for y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 4x minus 1 and replace the y in the second one. So kind of look here, and we're fusing those two equations together. Now, I've got an equation now that I can solve for x. Okay, so I need to get my variable on the same side. So I'm going to minus 2x on both sides, giving me 2x minus 1 equals negative 5. Add 1 to both sides, giving me 2x equals negative 4. And divide both sides by 2, giving me x is equal to negative 2. Now that's just the x value of my point. That's not the y value. I still need to find that y value by plugging back into either of my original problems. Okay, so I'm just going to pick the second one, and we're going to get y equals 2 times, well, we found x to be negative 2 minus 5. Well, solving this, I get y equals 2 times negative 2, which is negative 4 minus 5. So we get y is equal to negative 9. So my solution here is negative 2, negative 9. Okay, so let's look at this one now. I've got y equals 2x plus 2 and x plus 3y equals 20. Okay, so I do have one that's solved for y. So what this means is that in my second equation there, I'm going to replace the y with the 2x plus 2. So you can kind of see my two equations there now. So I took the y and replaced it with all of this. From there, I've just got to simplify and solve for x. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute that 3. So I get x plus 6x plus 6, and that's going to equal 20. Combine my like terms, giving me 7x plus 6 equals 20. Minus 6 on both sides. 7x is going to equal 20 minus 6, which is 14. And then divide everything by 7, giving me x equals 2. So my x value is 2. Now we need to solve for y. Again, it does not matter which one I plug into. However, one's going to be easier than the other in this case. Since I've already got this first one solved for y, let's go ahead and use that one and solve it first, or use that to solve. Okay, so we get y is equal to 2 times 2 plus 2. Well, we get y equals 2 times 2 is 4 plus 2. Y is equal to 6. So my solution is 2, 6. All right, we're going to do another one. I've got 3x plus 2y equals 20 and x equals negative 4. Now notice this is different than our others because it's x equals, not y equals. So instead of replacing y, I'm replacing the x, giving me 3 times negative 4y plus 2y equals 20. So 3 times negative 4y gives me negative 12y plus 2y equals 20. Combine my like terms, giving me negative 10y equal to 20. Divide everything by a negative 10, and I get y is equal to a negative 2. Now this time I got my y first instead of my x. Again, I'm going to plug back in, and it's always best to pick the one that's already solved for one of your variables. Okay, it makes it easier. So we get x equals negative 4 times negative 2. So x is going to equal 8. So my solution is 8, negative 2. Okay, so now we're going to look at this last one. 2y minus x equals 14, and x equals negative 3y plus 1. So this time we're replacing the x again. And notice that I still have this minus here. So because my x was negative, when I plug this part in, when I plug this part in, I have to multiply by a negative 1 first before I can do anything else. So it gives me 2y, distribute that negative 1, gives me plus 3y minus 1 equals 14. So 2y plus 3y gives me 5y minus 1. Combining our like terms there equals 14. Add 1 to both sides, and 5y is equal to 15. Divide both sides by 5, and I get y is equal to 3. So again, I've got the y solution. I need to find the x. So I'm going to plug back into that x equals 1 there. So we get x equals negative 3 times 5 plus 1. So we get x is equal to negative 15 plus 1. So x equals negative 14. So my solution is negative 14 and 5. All right, that's all I have for you in this video, and I will see you in the next.